Coming up on Cedar Valley Today, the city of Clarksville made a major drug bust this weekend. And Wartburg's volleyball team wins to secure the #1 seed heading into the Iowa Conference Tournament. Plus, protests of the North Dakota Access Pipeline are spreading across the nation. This is Cedar Valley Today. Hello and welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Tyler Metcalf. Staying warm was not an issue for some trick-or-treaters last night at the College Square Mall. Kids from Cedar Falls were invited for a fun indoor alternative to the traditional door-to-door option. Participating businesses in the mall had employees dress up for the holiday and hand out candy to all the children who came. Approximately 300 children showed up for the event. Choosing to trick-or-treat at the mall guarantees that children can get candy from each location rather than walking long distances to find houses that are giving out candy.
My son is very young, and it was just nice for him to be able to go trick-or-treating and not have to wear a coat and the whole 9 yards.
Police in Clarksville were busy this past weekend. According to the chief of police, they were called to the 100 block of West Prospect Street Saturday night after following through with a search warrant. Police found several marijuana pipes, packaging material to distribute the drug, a scale, a makeshift shotgun, nearly $4,500 worth of marijuana and $2,444 in cash. Police have confirmed Gage Johnson, 24, of Clarksville was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a controlled substance as his second offense, possession of a controlled substance for being less than 1,000 feet from a school, and more. Johnson was charged, arrested, and was released from jail at $13,000 bond. Police have confirmed Nick Wessels was also charged as well. Wessels is being held on $1,500 bond and is still being held in the Butler County Jail. Chief Mackey has confirmed they are still under investigation with charges pending. According to police, this is a substantial drug bust in a town with nearly 1,400 people. With Election Day a week away, presidential candidates have been busy campaigning across the United States. After coming to Cedar Rapids this past weekend, many voters had strong reactions about new Hillary Clinton emails the FBI will look into. There is still no indication that anything significant is in those emails, but the news is enough to send shockwaves, especially days before the election. Miguel Marquez spoke to some voters in Iowa.
At the Hillary Clinton rally, news the email investigation is being revived, for some expected, but still a shock.
You just put your head in your hand.
I did. We've been waiting for something like this.
Exactly, expecting that something like this was going to pop up.
Some found the timing of the announcement the worst part.
I thought the timing is really terrible for Hillary. This is the worst thing that could probably happen when there's only 10 days left of the election.
6 short blocks away, just across the river, a Donald Trump rally, and the reaction decidedly different.
Lock her up! Lock her up!
Trump supporters emboldened by news the FBI is looking at new information.
Finally. Yes, it needs to be taken care of. She got away with it the first time.
Many hoping undecideds will finally see the light. Dina Larson drove 8 hours from Langford, South Dakota, 3 kids in tow.
Do you think that will turn the tide in the election?
If they can get the word out there, I mean, if these independents and Democrats would hear this now, maybe they'd finally wake up and realize that she is a crook.
Eric Rendy, who's already voted for Trump, says he knows he's not perfect. But
yes, he has faults. Yes, he's not right about everything. But, like, why do we have to be lied to?
Officials discovered the new emails while investigating sexting allegations involving former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner. The emails had been either sent or received by Weiner's ex-wife and top Clinton aide, Huma Abedin. Besides supporting 2 candidates in Cedar Rapids this week, other people are talking to the polls to be sure their vote counts. Des Moines police say Terry Rote, 55, was arrested last week for voting twice for presidential candidate Donald Trump. Rote said she supports Trump and his claim that the election is rigged. She took to the polls to be sure her vote was heard. Election officials say she cast 2 absentee ballots to the county and they alerted police. Rote was taken to jail Thursday and faces Class D felonies. She was released from jail after posting $5,000 bail. If convicted, she will never be allowed to vote in an election again. When we come back, we'll take a look at Wartburg sports who kept busy during fall break.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
The Knights stayed hard at work this weekend. Wartburg men's soccer team fell to Luther in overtime 2-1 on Saturday in the first round of Iowa Conference tournament play. Wartburg came into the Iowa Conference tournament as the 6th seed, taking on 3rd-seeded Luther. The Norse got on the board in the first period with 1 goal to put them up 1-0. Sophomore Sammy Jung from Wartburg scored in the second to send the 1-1 match to overtime. Luther got the first penalty kick, advancing to the second round of tournament play. The Wartburg women's soccer team won in a 4-3 shootout over Co on Saturday to advance to the second round of Iowa Conference play. The teams were scoreless through 2 overtimes and the game went to penalty kicks. Co made 3 of their PK attempts, but junior Beth Crow from Wartburg saved their other 4. The black and orange found the back of the net 4 out of 7 times, giving the Knights the 4-3 shootout victory. Wartburg will play in Dubuque tomorrow at 5 p.m. against Loris. The winner of that match will advance to the Iowa Conference Championship game on Saturday. Wartburg took down number 18 Northwestern St. Paul 3-1 on Saturday. The Knights snapped the Eagles' 14-match winning streak, and UNW was also the number 1 ranked team in the region, while Wartburg was number 6. Wartburg's Aaron Jones led the team with 17 kills. The Knights will play in the Iowa Conference tournament on Friday, November 4th at the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids. Wartburg will face the winner of the Central and Nebraska Wesleyan game. And the Wartburg football team defeated the University of Dubuque 43-35 on Saturday. The Spartans were the first team on the board with their score with 8:51 left in the first, but the Knights answered back 2 drives later to knot the game at 7-all. Dubuque led 28-27 later in the third quarter until the Orange and Black scored 16 straight points to regain the lead, which they never relinquished. Wartburg will play Luther in Waverly at 1 p.m. on Saturday. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's trending in the Cedar Valley. Let's take a look at what's trending in the Cedar Valley. Men's adult basketball registration is now open. Games will be on Wednesday nights at local Waterloo schools starting November 16th. The Cedar Valley Sportsplex is allowing your team to sign up in one of 3 leagues, depending on your level of play. The league will last 10 weeks long. All players need to have a team shirt or jersey with a permanent number on the uniform. Registration deadline is November 9th. For all those Cubs, Indians, or just plain baseball fans, Game 6 of the World Series starts tonight at 7 p.m. Cubs pitcher John Lester held the Indians to 2 runs in 6 innings, and Cubbies hitters scored all 3 runs in the 4th inning, giving them the 3-2 victory in Game 5. The series heads back to Cleveland tonight, Jake Arrieta and Josh Tomlin taking the mounds for their respective teams. Cleveland looking to win the series tonight up 3-2. Now let's take a look at your local weather.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. The whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Thanks.
Construction is back in full swing on parts of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Protesters say they won't back down and will continue to try to stop the development. CNN correspondent Sarah Sidner is following this story.
Family, peaceful, prayers. You're not here to fight. This was the calm before 141 people ended up in handcuffs. Hundreds of people blocking a highway and a piece of land for one cause, trying to stop the North Dakota access pipeline in its tracks.
When they saw this military force coming over, it took us back to the days of the cavalry riding in and wiping out a village.
Protesters blocked a highway, set up camp in the pipeline's path. As things got more intense, cars and a piece of construction equipment went up in flames.
Probably a large number of them, maybe even the majority of them, were being peaceful. However, there's a group within that mix that are not peaceful. When you're throwing Molotov cocktails at law enforcement officers, you produce a handgun and fire 3 rounds at law enforcement officers, nobody would just describe that situation as peaceful.
And police moved in, using pepper spray, beanbag rounds, and ear-splitting sirens to push protesters off this particular strip of land. This is that same encampment. The protesters have been cleared out, and just across the highway, they wasted no time. The Dakota Access Pipeline project is in full swing. The protesters, including members of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, denounced violence, saying they are only trying to protect their way of life, their sacred sites, and their water, worried about the potential of pipeline ruptures that could poison their water supply.
This is the only source of water for 6 reservations. It's not only important to the reservations, but all the farms and ranches and townships and municipalities from here to the Gulf of Mexico.
But their attempts to stop the project have failed so far, and police say they are just following the law. So the dispute is clearly over the pipeline. This land right here, is this considered, from the opinion of law enforcement, private property here in the North Camp?
Yes, the land behind us here is private property. As far as...
So not the tribe's property?
Absolutely correct. It's private property behind us. As far as North Dakota law and Indian law says, we're north of the reservation where we're at right now.
The tribe says a 19th century treaty disputes that, and they say the land was stolen from them.
That treaty was broken, and therefore we feel that every land sale after that date was unlawful.
You may have been noticing your Facebook friends checking into the Standing Rock and Indian Reservation in Cannonball, North Dakota. According to posts, the Morton County Sheriff's Department has been using Facebook check-ins to find out who is at the reservation. The Sheriff's Department is trying to target the people at the location in an attempt to disrupt prayer camps, according to posts. People have started checking themselves in online to confuse them and hopefully protect people who are at the reservation. We'll be back after the break.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid. A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close. I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us. But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words. These are not my words. These are not my words.
How much do Americans love celebrating Halloween? How about $8.4 billion worth? That's an all-time high in spending on the holiday in the 11 years the National Retail Foundation has done a survey. A little over $3 billion worth of that is spent on costumes. Halloween candy represents $2.5 billion more dollars on average for U.S. consumers. Spending on the holiday is up $8 to nearly $83. One other note on our sweet tooth, nearly 3/4 of parents in a National Confectioners Association survey say they share in their kids' candy. That's with or without their knowledge. Thanks for watching Cedar Valley Today and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great day, Cedar Valley.